Welcome, everyone, to the Overheard podcast, recorded live in Banff. This is episode 15. It is May 7th, 2024. My name is Dan, and with me always is my co-host.
We got Matty Rage. Let's go.
Matty Rage, what's going on, man? How was your week?
Pretty good, man. Pretty busy. A little bit of work, bunch of band stuff, bunch of music stuff. You know, the usual kind of ring around of a fun week.
Usual kind of week for you?
Oh,
yeah, we had a bit of a not stressful week, but a bit of a last minute change with our guest this week. Unfortunately, the original guest that we had lined up for today couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, but we found a great little substitute guest last minute. We want to thank our guest.
Yeah, big time.
We're going to cut to that in just a minute. Before that,
how was your week, first of all? We forgot to ask.
Oh, my week? Yeah, my week
we
was
don't want to forget to ask.
Pretty sweet. Last Wednesday, the day after the pod, I went snowboarding, saw a wolf on the access road going up to Sunshine.
An actual wolf?
An actual wolf.
Was it massive?
It was huge. I've never seen a wolf before live in Banff National Park. And yeah, there was one on the access road. So pretty wild stuff. Keep your eyes peeled as the spring is upon us. You're going to see the valley floors kind of thawing first, and they're all coming down to feed. So pretty cool sight. It was massive.
Nice.
Other than that, went golfing yesterday for the first time.
Nice.
So golf season is upon us. Pretty stoked.
Did you do your dinner at work?
I did do the dinner at work. Yeah.
How was it?
Our boss had us in for a free dinner. So all the new staff kind of see the finished product of what we do. It was great. Big shout out to Fran. Big shout out to Grizzly House.
That was awesome. We went last night. It was me, the head chef, and the sous chef. And it was good, man. We were so full by the time we left. Like Ricky was just like, oh no, I got to sit down. He's just like, he was just like so full by the time we left. We got like a 1 for 3. That's a massive pot of cheese, salad.
Sure. Yeah.
I had like the beef buff, elk ven, the old Alberta.
Nice. And
we got some batter and deep fried everything. I deep fried a piece of elk. It was fucking sick.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was awesome, dude.
On. Big shout out to the Grizzly House. Thank you, Fran, for having us all in for a dinner. It was great stuff. So our guest this week, we already have one of them here in the studio with us. So Omen666 is our boy Matty Rage. This week, you might notice the VR headset on the table here. We have some very special guests that are going to be joining us from VR. Now, this is something brand new that we've never tried before. Yeah, a little bit about you, Omen. What type of music are you playing in VR? How does that whole scene work?
So, yeah, the VR scene is basically, there's a game called VRChat, and there is a massive club community there.
Okay.
So it's basically like rolling up to a club, full lighting system, like, good sound, and there's a DJ on stage. There's, up to 100 people in one instance at any time.
Okay.
And then you just kind of route your software through your streaming software, kind of like what we're doing right now. Actually, exactly like we're doing right now.
Exactly like we're doing right now.
Except it's just DJ hardware hooked up instead of this. So in VRChat, I mostly play like heavy drum and bass or like metal step, kind of tear out heavier EDM genres.
Okay, cool.
But there is a plethora of events every night. You could log in. Yeah, you could log in and go see, some neurofunk. You could log in. Like the other night, I was at an 80s night and they played the freaking Doogie Howser theme song from end to end. I'm not even kidding. It was awesome. But yeah, man, it's just like it's a whole different world.
Okay, cool. So it is a world that I'm very new to. Just learning about it over the past few days, talking to our other guest that is also going to be with us today. Our other guest that is with us goes by Zombiepunk. He is a club owner and operator in the VR world. We have him waiting on a call here, so we're just going to get him in and start the episode with all of our guests here.
Let's go. All right, Zombie, welcome to the pod, buddy. What is going on? How have you been?
Doing good, man. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, man, anytime. Thank you for doing this last minute for me. I know I got a hold of Zombie last night and was like, hey, man, we had a guest. I couldn't make it to the podcast. I got an idea. Would you want to do it? He jumped on right away. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll get in VR and everything. So, yeah. Here we are in the wonderful world of VR. This is actually my home world as well, now that you know.
Good choice.
Good choice.
For those that don't know, what is a home world?
So a home world is the first world that you're going to log into every time you open up the game. Boom, it's going to put you in here. And it's in a private instance. So it gives you time to kind of look at who's on and not be bombarded by people and stuff. So it gives you a little opportunity to figure out where you're going, what you're doing.
Cool. So basically like a home screen.
Yeah, it's like your landing spot. It's like when you load in, and most people have their home worlds is something kind of just like chill. Like for instance, this one is mine as well. You're kind of just out on the beach.
It looks very chill. I'll give you that. That looks like an oasis.
I can give you a little spin here.
Yeah, you got the whole
amazing.
You got the whole house around, Smilings and stuff, so you can just chill. But Zombie, what do you do in VRChat, sir?
So I spend a lot of my time organizing. I've turned this hobby into a job essentially. I do a lot of event planning. I DJ, and on top of that, I host for a lot of events too, and I do a lot of community outreach with other clubs. I just try to be active and helpful on here, I guess is a good way to put it. Just help promote the scene, help promote other clubs, other DJs.
Nice.
Give everybody platforms for that. That's kind of what I do.
Cool. And where are you from, Zombie?
I'm from Tacoma, Washington. So cool. Just a little south of Seattle.
Nice. Oh, you're not that far down then.
Right on. Yeah, not too far.
No.
So joining us from Tacoma. That's pretty wild. So you say you're also a DJ. You DJ at these events. What style of music are you into? Are you kind of this similar style to Omen, or are you kind of venturing into different styles?
Totally different styles. I'm coming at it from a very different side. I've only been DJing for, well, actually it's been like 6 months now, but I've seen on here, I book a lot of DJs. I'm very familiar with the scene, and I hear a lot of the D&B and all these other genres, that are quite popular. And I was like, where's the reggae? Is anybody, so I play a lot of music that I listen to that I want to expose other people to that I don't hear on the scene a lot. So a lot of reggae, I'm big into Japanese music, so I have a couple of Japanese sets.
Cool.
some J-rock, some J-pop. So I really go out of my way. I have D&B, I have things to fill in for spots. But I really like to give a set that no one else is going to play. I have a whole yacht rock set that I absolutely love.
Oh yeah,
Sick.
it's awesome. Oh man, so at work we just as a little side note on the yacht rock. Sorry to pop in here.
No, of course.
No, you're fine.
We love the yacht rock in the kitchen, and me and the boys we want to start a yacht rock cover band and call it Houseboat.
Amazing.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous of that.
So we were even going as far as to look into like buying the domain. Ricky was like, I'm looking up how much it is to buy houseboat.ca. And funny enough, houseboat.ca is available. Houseboats, houseboating, and like a bunch of other ones are all taken. But yeah, missed opportunity, man.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, Zombie, how did you get into VR?
So I got into VR because of my wife, actually. The Quest was on sale for like one of the Christmases forever ago. And she was like, oh, you know, he's a nerd. He'll like this stuff. And got it. A lot like other people, started off with Beat Saber and a couple of other like the very popular ones that people have heard of.
Right.
Then just scrolling through the marketplace one day, I was like, what the hell's VRChat? It's free. Why not? I'll check it out. And then it's just this rabbit hole that I've been sucked down into, you know?
It doesn't take much, does it?
No, dude. Like, I'm a very social person. So just the aspect before I even found the club scene, just getting to meet people. You never know who you're going to meet. Like, you can see me right now. I'm just like in this cutesy, like anime waifu avatar. But it's like, you know, I might talk to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a firefighter. I do all this crazy stuff, or I'm an oil rigger. You know, it's like you never know.
Yeah, good point. Our friend group does have some pretty random stuff in there. Like, I think Flexus is like a realtor or something. He's like a huge DJ. Like, he's a realtor. It's just like everybody has like just pretty normal lives outside of VR, but then you get in VR and it's just you can kind of do whatever you want, right?
So what is so the avatars, is that something that you kind of do when you start in VR? Do you have one? Is that just the avatar for say VRChat, or is it the same avatar across different platforms? How does the whole you build your avatar yourself, right? I'm assuming.
You can. There's a lot of ones that people make that are public, so anyone can use them.
Okay.
Which is very generous of the community. Everything in VRChat, so like what you're seeing in the background, my avatar, everything is user generated.
Cool.
Like nothing was made by the VRChat team. So like this is all just dedication that you're seeing. People love doing what they do, and this is a whole platform for them to do it. Like for me, this is I constantly update my avatar for like different seasons and events and stuff like that. So this is like the current look I have going on. But you can alter it easy
always
peasy.
got a different avatar.
So it's something like
Always got
customizable then. It's not just like you do it once and you're stuck with it forever type of thing.
No, you can change it up to whatever you want. There's tons of stores. You can build your own stuff if you want to get that crazy, you know?
Very cool.
Oh yeah, like everybody kind of, I guess, to some extent customizes their avatar at some point along the lines. Like I took mine and added my logo and did some like audio reactive stuff. So like, you know, everything lights up during your set. But yeah, man, it's crazy. People get pretty nuts with them. And like Dan was asking earlier, he's like, so wait, his name's Zombie. He's a chick avatar, but he's a dude. Like I'm like, yeah, this is a common thing. It doesn't matter in VRChat. You can basically be an avocado if you want, and no one will say anything about it other than that's a cute avocado.
You just accept it. It's so weird. Yeah, it's just
yeah. You're just like, well, I guess okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of like when you're playing a video game. Like sometimes you have a female character, sometimes you have a man character. It doesn't really matter in that sense, right? Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
exactly. It's
the same thing.
Well, and you get to wear these, which is a little bit different.
That's pretty awesome.
And we got Aztec in the
like
chat.
I look down and there's my feet and my arms. You know, that's the weird part.
So you're at home sitting with one of these headsets on as well. For those that don't really get what's going on, and then all this is what
I have
seeing.
A headset on right now, and the reason you can see me like move my hips and like let's see if I can kick my leg up. I can move my legs and stuff because I have trackers for those.
So it's like a suit that you wear, or
They're like little pucks. So
Okay,
you
cool.
like put them on your feet. I got one on my hip, and it's called full body tracking. So it gives you a lot of motion. People do like more. They can have them on their chest and stuff, or even more exact movement. A lot of dancers on here do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like more movement points basically, so it can pick up your movements. That's insane.
exactly.
Like I'm quite mind blown right now by this. Honestly, it's super cool.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. You have no idea how easy it is to just get in there and go have a good time with a bunch of people that you have never met, no idea where they're from, no idea what they do. It's just awesome. Like, what drew you to the club scene initially? How did you get into that?
I got thrown in because I met one person in a public world, and they were like, "Hey, I'm about to bounce out of here. I'm going to my buddy's set," and I was like, what do you mean? Like, are they playing a show or something? And he's like, "Oh yeah, you know." I was like, it took me a moment to realize he was talking about in VR, right? Because I'm a musician as well, so I play IRL shows,
Right.
and I was literally just like, "What? Can I come?" And he's like, "Yeah," and like I went to the rave and it was just like, what the fuck is any of this? You know, just having my mind blown. I was like, is this guy really DJing right now? He's like, yeah, there's like 7 behind him. You know, I was like, what? And the lights and stuff, it like just blew my mind. I was literally, from that moment, I was like, how do I get into this?
Yeah, I think that's what got me too. Was the first time I went in there. Like when I first got my PC VR hooked up, I got in there and the first night was like, holy shit, the lights in this club. Like, yeah, that was just Orion. I mean, to be fair, Orion has basically every single light package you could put on a level in VR.
But that's everybody's first.
Yeah, it's everybody's like kind of first club you go to, and it's like a smaller kind of little like European style club. Like it's just a dance floor basically with like a little off room.
Yeah,
and then just like massive lights, and that's the same thing that I said. I walked in there, I saw Mikey the Maniac. She was playing, and I was like, is this person actually DJing? Because they had their visuals up on the screen behind them and everything, like custom visuals and all this stuff. And then somebody was like, yeah, dude, like all these DJs are DJing in here tonight. I'm like, holy shit. And that's kind of like what got me into it. I was like, this is sick, dude. Like you can go to an actual event. It's not just someone playing a video on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like it's unreal.
Well, it's also people DJing in real time. Like you said, you can see 7 to 10 or how many acts you can play back to back. Like there's almost no limitations. You don't have to
they're
gather these people in one place physically.
Yeah, they'll do festivals that just go for like 3 days straight.
Okay.
Like there's no stop.
Yeah,
it's just like the European crowd will play while we're all sleeping and then blah blah blah. But
we got someone chiming in.
I helped organize a 3-day festival. I think it was 2 months ago now. And for 3 days, from 5 in the morning from the first day until midnight of the last day, every 45 minutes there was a DJ.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane.
Well, we got some chat here. Nigel, Action Adventure Nigel says, what did he say? When I heard there were shows in VR, wanted to go to one. As soon as I went to one, I knew I wanted to play one. Zombie gave me that opportunity. Oh,
so big thanks from the chat.
Hi,
from
Action.
Zombie.
Yeah, no, wait. Action's good stuff too, man. There's so many good DJs. That's what I mean. It's such a hotbed of just, it's so easy to just hook up your stuff at home and go instead of having to go to a club. And
100%. You know what I mean?
And like, man, think of the number. Like what kind of numbers? Like we did that little pop-up Friday night, me and Skippy. I think we had like 900 people through there on just a random pop-up.
Yeah,
it
you get
was
to play
crazy.
for insane numbers on here, dude. It's things that you would have got locked out of at a real show because of capacity, right? But you can just have a constant flow of people coming in.
For sure. Like you're gonna have I know in Banff at least, you're gonna be hard pressed to find a 900 person capacity venue.
Yeah, I don't think we have
let
one.
alone fill one, right? Like,
maybe at the Fairmont, but you'd have to rent a ballroom at the Fairmont.
Yeah.
And it's just an empty ballroom, so that gets expensive pretty quick. But yeah, it's awesome, man. The numbers that you can pull in there are nuts. What are some of the bigger events that Cozy's had? Because I know you guys have been absolutely crushing it lately.
Yeah, we've been gaining a lot of steam. Our events are kind of just growing. So like some of things that used to be just like a really big kind of like, oh crazy, we have a lot of people here. I don't know why. But like a lot of our like early days with our early partners that I started collabing with, like Valhalla, I think that was like our first 80 cap night. What was it? I think it was 6 hours. So 80 people capped out, can't have more for 6 whole hours. You know, like
Yeah, it's crazy.
just the dude. Yeah, no, it's insane. And like we had a pop up last weekend or whatever on a Sunday at like a random time, and same thing. Like we queued for that night because there's a queue feature now, so
Yeah.
people can get in line.
Just like a regular club. Like
Yeah, like well, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice because you don't have to actually wait in a line. You just stay whatever world you're at with your homies, and then you get a ping that says, "Hey, you can get into the club now."
I was totally imagining like a line in VR where you can like interact with the people.
Oh yeah,
in line and
actually
stuff.
queuing outside the club.
Yeah. Taking the immersion to another level.
It's
you
just
know?
like an actual.
Actually,
lineup.
that'd be super funny.
Oh, yeah,
I would
you
do,
just-
can we see your card?
Yeah,
Can you show your
Yeah.
you gotta have a fake VRChat ID as well.
You have a VR bouncer, like some buff dude, some super buffed avatar.
Oh yeah, just get Odin
Right.
and they're hammering people out. Be great. Oh god. Well, how often do you guys do events?
For us, we're actually one of the more active clubs. We do events all the time. Probably at least 3 or 4 a week at this point.
I know you. It seems like every night I get in, there's a cozy club event or collab or something going on.
Mhm.
And are we talking?
Yeah, sorry, you go ahead.
Sorry, so we're talking all types of different genres. You said you do reggae, Omen. Obviously, you do harder styles of EDM. So
Yep.
those genres just go across the board.
Oh, yeah. For me, for a lot of my events, I have a weekly event on Tuesdays that's always free spin. I just want to hear what the DJs want to play for us, right? It's not restricted by any means. If you want to play electro swing and then go into this, and then the next DJ wants to play metal step, that's the lineup for tonight. I, as a musician too, like Omen probably knows this, where it's you go out, you play in a bar show and stuff like that, and maybe it's a metal night, but like, what genres of metal are you gonna hear? Like, you know,
Yeah. It usually ends
the-
up being a pretty good mix, and I find
Mhm.
kind of the open genre events tend to be a little more fun. Like they're a little less restrictive. You can kind of get away with playing whatever you want. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's like
Well,
the
for
DJs
sure.
seem to have like a little more fun because they get to play what they really like, as opposed to
If you go to a nightclub in real
Right.
life, it's always kind of restricted by certain genres. They're not going to put 2 different genres back to back. It always kind of.
Mhm.
So I can see it being way more inclusive in that sense of
right.
yeah, and hearing what the DJs really like is how you're going to find the best music, honestly.
Oh, no doubt. Like there are some gnarly DJs in there. It's I can't believe some of these guys playing VR with us. It's just unreal. Like I've only been playing for geez, when did I start? Last August, something like that. So I've only been
Yeah, right as we started up. Yeah.
so I
Because you were on a MIDI controller.
yeah, because I was on it's on the couch over there behind me. But
Nice.
yeah, the one right behind us. It was the little like 8-pad section on the end of that thing is what I started on. Zombie remembered that. That's awesome. And then I upgraded to a controller, and I'm upgrading again. But yeah, you can get started with anything, man. I know people that just do mouse and keyboard and run virtual desk or virtual DJ,
Okay.
and you can
Oh
just
God, yeah.
mouse and keyboard
Logic?
it.
Yeah, he's just keyboard and mouse, and you would never know. The dude slays.
Who's that?
Oh, Logic EXE.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Logical uses mouse and key as well.
Well, that brings me to my
Mhm.
next question. Like, say someone like me, not super technically inclined, how would someone get into VR if they're interested?
Actually, it's super easy now. I'm actually doing a project right now with a couple of other groups. We're making a tutorial video to post up on YouTube and spread around. It's like, here's how you get into here. If you starting from nothing, right?
Yeah.
You don't even need a VR headset. You can play VRChat just on desktop, flat screen mode. And a lot of DJs do that because there's some figuring out of like how do you hold your controllers or what do you do with your hands and stuff. So a lot of people just go, cool, I'll be there and present. Here's my visuals, and they want their hands free, which is totally fine, right? But a lot of DJs figure out alternative means. Like me and Omen here, we both have Quest headsets, which allows hand tracking with a certain software. So I don't need my controllers; it will just follow my hands while I do stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. It does suck because I do have this thing strapped to my head literally the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
the whole time that I'm DJing, I have that thing on, and it's basically just a whole blindfold, and you're kind of peeking out this little crack like underneath of your nose,
And
and
trying to DJ
trying to
on.
DJ at the same time. So for any of us that do DJ in VR, like props to you guys, man. That's how I learned, and it was not easy.
It
Like-
seems like
Mm-hmm.
multitasking, right? You're running the game on the headset as well as trying to run your physical instrument, which is your DJ decks, right?
Right.
Or your
Well,
controller, whatever
Mhm.
it is that you're using.
I mean, I don't know how Zombie feels about it, but the reason I do that is because when I'm DJing, I'll want to look up from my decks and see the crowd.
Cool.
Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Like, I can DJ and look up and see this anytime. Like I look at my computer when I DJ with my headset on, regardless. So for me, it's way more immersive when you're actually there and you got people coming up to the decks like, yeah, let's go, like right in your face.
Well,
It's
that'd be like
awesome.
an added
Fucking like
experience for
breaking
you.
the rail, you know,
Yeah,
like
straight up on, yeah, like straight up breaking the rail. It's awesome, and it's
Mhm.
you get the same kind of like rush that you do from playing a real live show, anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Jasmine
Yeah,
said.
it's
Yeah, me too. Jasmine Pizza, she plays with VR as well. So
Very, very interesting stuff. So VR obviously rapidly growing, rapidly being more and more talked about as a normal thing these days. How do you envision VR shaping the future of entertainment? Like, you think it's just
Um,
going to keep growing?
Oh, I think it's absolutely growing. I think it's gonna take leaps and bounds here over the next couple of years as things get cheaper, more accessible, cooler, I guess is a good way to put it. Like
Yeah.
headsets are starting to shrink and get really like convenient. You know, it's like they're a lot more comfortable to wear nowadays. There's things called like the big screen VR headset, which is basically goggles. You know, it's really
yeah,
lightweight,
it's tiny.
convenient.
Yeah, it's like this big. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's absolutely nuts.
Well, I think we've all seen that Ready Player One movie
Yep.
where they're, running on those platforms. I think we're kind of getting closer and closer
Well, they
to
do
that.
have that. They do have those platforms.
That's what you were
even.
telling me the other day. Exactly. So
Yeah, Catwalk
Mhm.
makes I think they call it like VR treadmill, but you basically just
Mhm.
have these shoes that are felt, and it's kind of just like a big convex like platform that you stand on. And you
Yeah.
just run on it, and it tracks your movement and translates it to movement in the game.
pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody use one in VRChat. Now that I think of it, but that'd be hella expensive.
I've seen two people, and it's really uncanny at first because
Oh,
like
you've seen
people
it?
walk around, like you have your room space to walk around,
Mhm.
but then they just keep going, and you're like, holy shit, what are you on? You know, like
That's awesome.
So it's pretty noticeable then in the game when someone is on that technology because they
Well,
just
yeah.
have way more free movement.
Even full body, like with the
Mhm.
Quest, what I run, I only have basically my upper body track.
Yeah.
So I can't kick people. I can't do like leg kicks and cool shit like that. But you'll notice instantly when someone has like really good full body tracking, just the way that like they move and like how smooth it is and how glitch free it is. It's just like insane.
Cool.
It's like, holy man, how much money did you spend on your setup?
Have you
It's
guys
wild.
ever ran into the wall?
No.
oh yeah, absolutely, I have. Yeah,
I
yeah,
punched
yeah.
the wall playing tennis once. I went to serve and I smashed the wall full tilt with my knuckles and like ripped my knuckles open.
Yep. That kind of stuff happens. Like you'll see it too. It's like it's a party foul when people are doing it because
Oh,
like,
yeah.
somebody will just go to reach for something and bonk their head against something. It's like, all right, everybody take a drink.
Nice.
Well, Aztec here chimed in. He said the Omni or Catwalk C is really pretty loud to use though because you're using shoes with plastic bottoms and hard plastic side platform. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
yeah. I would imagine my downstairs neighbors would be like, "Shut the fuck up there."
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, stop it. FB tweets. Yeah, full body swagger.
Yeah, like the full body tracking, honestly, watching you on this screen, it's pretty indistinguishable from talking to a normal person on a stream. Like I'm pretty blown away by it, honestly.
Well, that's kind of what gets you drawn in. Like you can make really good friends and like solid connections with people in VRChat because you're reading a lot of their body language too, right? It's not like you're just chatting to somebody on Facebook. Like they could be any douchebag or whatever, right? So it's like an easy way to pick up on it. And it's like anything, man. You get vibes about people in VR the same as you do real life. You're like, that guy's going to turn out to be a douchebag. And sure enough, Not mentioning any names, but we've seen it happen. So it's it's I don't know. People like the people that are more genuine about it seem to go farther in the club and DJ scene than the kind of like I'm a DJ, like fuck you, I can do whatever I want. Like it's the same scene, right? Like
Well, how it seems to me, honestly, technology's always kind of been blamed for separating people, right?
Yeah.
Like over time and social media, even though we're still all connecting, we're kind of growing farther and farther apart. I think this is a very cool example of using technology to bring that closer together. Like you said, being able to see people's body movements and mannerisms and stuff, that's bringing that human connection
oh, for sure.
back to something that's really technologically advanced, right? Like I think that's very, very cool technology for sure.
Oh, it's unreal, dude. And like I guess that brings us to another point. Like any insanely memorable moments at a club event, either with like a guest or I don't know, just homies or anything. Like what's your top moment, I guess, that you would take away from the past 9 months as a club owner?
You know what? Honestly, it might be the first like main event that we kind of threw ourselves. Because so my club's cozy club, right? We're like a safe for work kind of 18 plus community, right?
Yep.
We're not the hardest partiers and stuff, and like getting into the scene with it's very hard party-esque, right? You know,
Right.
and I'd booked a couple of DJs for the first time, and they were like confused as to what we would want them to play, you know, because they're like, cozy club, what the hell do they, is it like tea parties and stuff? Like, what do they do? What do they want, you know? And it doesn't help that the first event was pink themed. I asked everybody to come dressed as pink as possible. And I think we called it Tickled Pink Tuesday or something like that, right?
Oh god. That's awesome. Who was on that lineup? Do you remember?
I had DJSeaJay,
Nice.
Rolled Turtle, oh god, who else?
don't know.
Lumani, and then I can't remember the fourth one.
Nice.
Can't remember who our closer was.
That's already a decent lineup, though. So yeah, I can see why CJ would be confused with that because my buddy CJ plays basically like the heaviest dub that you'll hear. Like you might as well go to Lost Lands and stand front row because he's gonna tear your face off.
You're gonna get that in front of the speaker
And like
effect.
I remember an event once with him, and someone was like, "It's whatever," and he's like, "Well, I'm playing heavy stuff, so." That's all I have, really. I'm like, he just killed it.
I don't have chill. I have kawaii bass and then melt your face off dubstep.
No doubt. No doubt.
So, Zombie, you mentioned the cozy club being a safe space, an inclusive space. How do you ensure the safety and the comfort of your guests within your club? Like, we've all been in a chat before, especially on the internet. Like, we've all played Call of Duty and hear what's going on in those lobbies. Like, how do you ensure that kind of the trolls don't take over? Like, you know, people are having a good time.
Well, fortunately enough, VRChat over time has been giving us more and more tools to moderate everything. So I have a number of staff members. I think I have like 30 people on my staff at this point. Lots of them run security. I have hosts as well that kind of do that as well. But I have people who are looking for people who are doing maybe running a malicious program. We have ways to detect that. And then like if there's any, you know, scuffles between guests and stuff like that, that's what our hosts and security's for, is they come in there and start to delegate what's going on.
Okay.
If we need to ban people, we ban people. Because like you said, we're about inclusivity.
Yeah.
And if people aren't willing to get down with that, we don't need them to be there, you know?
For sure.
I mean, the club scene in VRChat's pretty decent with that. You don't really run into that a whole lot. It's like, it's something that you're not going to really, you don't just like stumble randomly. You don't just get on VRChat for your first time and just randomly stumble across like an event like this.
Well, it also seems like the possibilities are endless. So if you don't like it, just leave. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's
exactly.
Yeah, if you don't like the DJ and you want to go listen to other music, just go to another event. Like go to another club. Trust me, there'll be 100 other people there listening to something else with 5 other DJs booked for the night, and that's every single day you could go to the club. That's what makes it accessible too, right? Like for me starting out, for me to go play, like Jesus, what have I played? Probably like between 400 and 500 sets now.
Okay, in such a short amount of time too,
right?
right?
For someone to do that IRL,
That'd take you years.
Oh, it would take me years to get that experience, right? So I think it's a good platform for people to start if you want to start DJing. Like learn the basics and jump in VRChat. No one's gonna really grind your gears if you completely fuck up a set. B, if you do, someone is likely to come up to you and be like, "Hey, man, if you need some help, like I can jump on Discord with you and like set up a cam on my decks and like give you some pointers, or like
That's
if you need some help." Like everybody in the scene is pretty helpful with that kind of stuff. Like I know when I first started, like I would ask people for advice all the time. How do you do this? How do you do that? And they're like, "Oh, just do this," and then kind of wing it from there, man. Like you'll kind of, if you got the basics, you'll kind of figure it out as you go. And it's a good scene to be in. It's like a super tight, small community, as big as it seems. Sometimes there's only so many clubs, right? Like,
well, we've actually, me and a bunch of other club owners have gotten together, and we were trying to figure out for a while like how many people might be in the scene, like who is aware of it, who participates in it,
right?
And it's probably only around 20,000, like, to be real. Like it's,
well, in North America,
it seems huge.
In I'd say
for North America.
Yeah, the European scene is actually pretty massive, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Are they on different servers, North America, European, or is everyone kind of lumped in together?
Well, you can go wherever you want. Like I played European server events. I
guess people will just be speaking different languages and stuff, right?
Yeah, like I've played
different languages for sure.
Yeah, I played what was that Mira party there in Brazil. So everybody down there all night was just Saúde, sua filha da puta.
Saúde.
Like, yeah, Saúde, yeah. But yeah, it's cool. It gives you an opportunity also to do that. Like I played clubs in Germany, or clubs that are based in Germany. I guess it's VRChat. I didn't actually go to Germany, but you're hanging out with a bunch of Germans at a club that's based in Germany. Like you're playing a club in Germany, basically. You know what I mean? And
insane.
Same in Brazil. Like I played there, like all over the place.
I even got to play a Portal event, which is super interesting. Those are getting a little more common now, where it's a crossover for an IRL event, right? So for this place, it was a club in Brussels. They had cams set up for us to stream back and forth so people could see in the club, and then the club could also see the club in the game.
Cool.
And they had a 3D projection screen, kind of like what the Gorillas do. So it was like an IRL DJ and then a VR DJ. So like when I got up, I'm like this huge avatar on the screen in front of everybody and stuff, and I'm just DJing, and people are like, I could see the camera as well, and you can see a lot of people just going like, "What the hell is going on? What is this? Who is this?" You know, like,
yeah,
that
was just so weird.
That would be insane.
So new.
Yeah, they're happening a little more often now, which is cool. Like I don't know how you got on that, Zombie. Good on you, man. That's
luck. Yeah, absolute luck.
It's a lot of the things too, like in VRChat. It's like real life. You got to go out and you got to socialize, and you got to
for sure ask.
You got to network, man. Like when I first started playing, every event that I went to that I played for about a month, I would be like, "Who do I talk to here to get like put on the DJ roster? Like who's the owner?" Like that's just how I did it, and I added a whole bunch of club owners, and that's how you get shows. And then you join the Discords, and if they like your
networking
stuff,
is the lifeblood on here.
Oh yeah, networking is huge. Aztec said the same thing. Aztec, by the way, owns Club Rift in VR, which is a sick club. They've got like some gnarly visuals. You'd love it, Dan. It's literally like being on like DMT or something.
I'm in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, screen visuals. Yeah, beats truly. But that's what I mean. Like, and there's no real limit to what you can do with these clubs other than can you make it in Unity? Like, can you do it in Unity and Blender? Then you can make it and you can put it in the game.
And Unity and Blender, for those that don't know, these are programs what you're using to build these worlds.
Yeah, like everything, like Zombie said earlier, everything is made by users in the game. The VRChat dev team basically just gives the basic layout and structure of the game. You can make whatever you want, upload whatever you want to it.
Does the space cost money? Like, say, Cozy Club, do you have to pay money to operate the space that you occupy in VR?
No, it's just it's just a world.
commission based for a lot of people. Like, I'm not a world builder. I'm not good at it. But like, I have people who are. One of my team members is very gracious and does a lot of work for me for free. But other people, it's very common on here to, like, you'll pay for a world. It takes time, effort, energy, all that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of an economy that goes on in here. But it's money that all circulates just within us, which is interesting. Like, you'll pay a world maker, the world maker will pay for art from somebody, and then that artist will, pay somebody else for a service. It's weird. It's like,
Yeah, it is weird.
art
like
is kind of heaven.
Like, somebody's got to pay the guy to buy the assets and make the world, and then somebody's got to buy program and textures and stuff to make the assets, and it is what it is. It's just a really weird.
Well,
weird
action adventure Nigel in the chat, what did he say? He says, like, there's people that are paid to make the light sets in the clubs. And
It's like visual people. Oh, he said the visuals people create and the club lights that people program are wild. Like, it is. And it's like going to a real club. It's DMX, right? So the lights actually run off of your music.
Okay, cool.
So when your bass is hitting really hard and going, like, the strobes are going crazy. The lights, there's lasers, smoke, like fire. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Like, it's kind of an endless opportunity as far as stage lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, VJs have, like, hooked up actual industry programs to run in here now. It's super crazy. Like, that's becoming more common too, is actually having full running light boards and stuff in a lot of worlds that people are making.
Right.
So you have, like, a light technician and stuff now. It's really cool.
Yeah, so they'll literally have someone sitting there
just doing lights.
They call it like a VJ. Like,
video jockey, whatever.
Yeah. So they basically run the lighting.
Okay.
And then they'll have a DJ on stage, and they'll have, like, a booth in the back with a tablet that has, like, whatever options you want on it. They can change the color of the lights, do screen shading, do whatever they want.
Very interesting.
It's really cool, dude. And, like, Schism, their stuff is just getting out of control nuts. It's awesome. I was there last week, and yeah, it's wild.
It seems to still kind of retain that internetness of open source and of sharing as it seems like it's a kind of a nice little hybrid, the VR realm of having the benefits of the internet without the downsides of it. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, it seems like you're pretty efficient at modding out the downsides of it.
Well, it's like going to a club. It's like going to a club, but you don't have to worry about anybody spiking your drink. You don't have to worry about getting in a fight.
Great point.
You don't have to worry about, like, anything really other than getting drunk and falling onto your couch. I mean,
and having a good time, maybe running into the wall.
Yeah, maybe running into the wall.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing I like on here too, is it gives people access to, like, there's not a lot of clubs that are open on a Tuesday, but that might be your day off, right?
Right. Yeah.
So now you can come in here, party. You can do it safely too. I'm not worried about people drinking and driving. Like, hey, like, we've played shows where, like, people are hammered, and you're like, like, hey, the show's over, but don't leave yet, or let me drive you. Like, there's none of that.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, it's a weirdly calm club scene. Like, I don't mean calm. I mean, like, drama free. I guess there is.
Yeah, for sure.
There's the odd drama between club owners and patrons, and who cares? But, like, for the most part, it's pretty relaxed, man. There's not really a whole lot of, like, backstabbing or anything like that. Like, there's so many of the clubs work together on events that it's like, if you go out and be a dick, the scene is, like he said, there's only 20,000 people, right? And I see the same. I see the same DJ homies playing at different events all over the place, but it's always kind of like the same. It's very rare now that I'll see a DJ and be like, oh, who is this? These guys are cool. It's like, after you DJ'd for a while, you kind of get into that scene, and you just don't want to be it's like Banff. You don't want to be a dick because you burn your bridges quick, and then that's it. It's a small community, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Well,
I mean,
we all talk, you'll be like, well, this person was hard to work with, or rude, or did something crazy. And it's like, well, cool. They're just not getting booked anymore.
exactly. Yeah. It's easy to do that because all these club owners work together and know each other. So you put out a lineup and somebody goes, oh, I don't like that guy. It's like, okay, well, he's off the lineup.
Now, Zombie, would you say that's one of the hardest parts of running the Cozy Club? Is that dealing with people and talent and stuff? Like, what are some of the challenges you face as someone who's organizing everything?
Oh, I deal with stuff all the time. That is what a lot of what I do. Having a lot of staff members and, like, well, just have so many people interacting with each other. There's no way that everything's going to go right for everyone, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, how do you mitigate those circumstances and issues and stuff like that? How do you get ahead of the game on it? I do a lot of like basically HR work, dealing with stuff because
Yeah, no doubt.
maybe a staff member said something and it was misconstrued to somebody else, and you need to clarify that and clear the error and all that stuff. I'm a business owner. I have it's not work, it's all volunteer, but it's like I have the same responsibilities, right? And I
Fair.
view it as
That
in
was-
like that's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. They're supposed to have fun and help me out with my little stupid idea. And I deal with all the hard stuff, right?
Nice.
So you said like staff. That was kind of my next question was like, are you being paid? You said you're doing this all volunteer. This is all just out of the kindness of your soul for putting on a space for people. I think that's a super valiant thing to spend your time on for sure.
Oh yeah, man. We all do it for free. Like I've played, like I said, 400 or 500 sets now. I have not been paid for a set. You know what I mean? And it's just I find if you're really into it, you'll keep doing it. Like,
well, we can relate to that just with our show, like it's for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we're not making money. It's just because we have fun doing it. So it's a lot like that for all the club owners, and like nobody's doing it for clout and to like be a big shot. Like at the end of the day, it's just a club in VR. Like,
well, that's kind of what I was touching on earlier. It seems like a more humble place, than an in real life club. Like it's a very cool hybrid of the positive qualities of clubbing in real life without the negative sides. Like,
thanks for the follow, Mav. Seems
very, very cool.
Well, something I always kind of like bring out to people on here is like, if anybody's having like, if there's ego or if any issues are going on, stuff like that, I'm like, we're just all in our rooms with a toaster on our face right now. Like none of us are cool. There's no reason to take this seriously. Like,
just take her down a level, have fun. Like, you look like a fucking idiot right now to everybody outside of that headset. So
exactly,
chime it down. Like we're all here to have fun. Just like no one wants to argue. We're just.
I like that. That was a hilarious take on it. Honestly, that's a really good way to put it.
It's straight up though, and like Chase probably walks out here, and I'm just in my headset, like dancing to like someone throwing down a set and headbang, and he's just like this fucking kid. Like he probably is just like what an idiot. But oh god, hi Larch.
So what are some of the strategies that you use to keep your club experience kind of ever changing besides getting different guests? Obviously, are you switching up the lights? Are you switching up the look and the aesthetic of the club often? Like you change your avatar with the seasons? Is that something you do with the space that you're performing in as well?
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm always looking for one thing I love is how many people are making worlds out there, and I love to feature worlds and like figure out how to hold an event in them to kind of like highlight them and get people to come check it out. Lots like any other thing, there's very popular people and then there's the less popular unknown people. So actually, I have this event that I run every once in a while called a bar crawl. I'll book 2 DJs and we'll hop or 2 DJs per world, and we'll hop through 3 different worlds. It's kind of like a little highlight feature for the night. The person who makes the maps for our club specifically, constantly doing iterations, adding things, taking feedback from the community.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One of our worlds, like our mainstay world, we were it's kind of a meme at this point. People call it Club Rejoin because you can do live updates. You just have to rejoin to see like what the update is. Oh, here's a little special guest here.
What's going on there?
That's CJ. What's up, CJ?
Yeah, this is DJSeaJay. Come and get on camera. Come get on camera.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Can we pop them in the call?
Because there's like a huge delay.
I don't know if I can get him in here. Let me see.
Bear with us here. We might have a special guest.
Yeah, this was the original guest you guys were trying to get on. Actually,
hold on. Let me see if I can add him in here.
Wild. So we are here doing a first on the Overheard podcast with guests in VR. This has been blowing my mind the whole time. We want to take a little time to shout you out, Zombiepunk, for taking the time to be with us, and Matt for, or I should say, Omen666 for organizing this. This is
it's so funny to hear his like name. Like I've heard it before, but it's like I know him as Omen.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I did it the wrong way. Oh no, I think I got it. Let's see. Did we do it right?
Technology is
No.
just getting out of control.
I just pop my screen back up for you.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Larchie's making her appearance of the show.
And there we go.
Okay. All right.
Perfect.
See, so
There we go.
All right.
Angle the
There we
camera a little
go.
bit and
We
get us
got
in here.
CJ in here. He's got no mic
There we
yet.
go. Yeah, this guy right here, S tier premier DJ.
Did you say S tier?
S tier, S plus.
Nice.
CJ, turn your mic on, buddy. But yeah, this is DJSeaJay.
Oh, yeah, unmute yourself.
He's like one of my OG original homies that I met. Like,
You can talk in the call. Yeah, in Discord. You can talk in Discord.
yeah. Hit it up.
That's how they're gonna record you, or it's gonna come through.
So we have DJSeaJay joining us here
there
on
we
the
go.
Overheard
Now you can hear me.
podcast. Thanks for being with us.
There we go.
How are you guys doing this evening, man?
Good. We got a little bit of echo there. I don't know why, but it's probably just you guys being close. But what's going on, homie? How you been?
Oh man, work has just been kicking my ass. Other
Let
than
me
that,
mute
it's been
him,
pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah, there you go. Gee, these all the cards. She's all the muting. All the
We got
muting.
this figured out.
Hold on.
I'll hear you in the call.
I got delay somewhere. Oh
There we
yeah.
go.
CJ's good now. Okay. But what's
Yeah,
going
all
on? So CJ is probably like one of the bigger DJs in the North American scene. Big time as he cracks a beer over there. I can see him doing it.
Cheers.
This is wild.
Yeah, he's been kind of like my mentor, I guess, in the in my wild journey as a friggin' DJ in VRChat.
Awesome. Well,
He's
welcome.
been DJing like how long now, CJ? 9 years, 10 years?
Yeah, about 9-10 years, but in VRChat, like maybe a year and a half, something like that.
And where are you
So
from?
like getting used to. I'm from California, but I live in Alabama now, so it's a little.
He moved from California to Alabama like a dum-dum.
Hey! You know how much cheaper it is to live here than it is to live in California? You couldn't pay me to go back there.
No, I know. I hear you.
Fair enough.
No.
Roll Tide, baby.
Well, CJ, what kind of music are you playing?
I like to do a lot of melodic dub, a lot of rhythm. Every once in a while, I'll throw in some like kind of jazzy grizz kind of bass stuff. A lot of heavy dubstep, funk step, and then like a little bit of kawaii stuff. Every once in a while, you can catch me do a drum and bass set, but that's like maybe once or twice a year. And then other than that, then I'm usually just spinning beats that strippers can't dance to.
Nice.
Yeah, that about sums it up. It's like big ass festival vibes that strippers aren't dancing to that. It's like break your neck kind of like
Oh yeah, like heavy
Oh, yeah.
dub.
Headbanger
oh,
stuff.
Oh yeah.
for
oh
sure.
yeah, like the heavier the better. But yeah, no, he's been going for friggin' ever, man.
Do you DJ at multiple clubs in VR? Or is Cozy Club kind of your spot?
Cozy Club has been more of a home as far as like the homies and everything, but I would say that I probably DJ for over 40, 50 different clubs in total here in VR.
Whoa.
Yeah, most of us do. Once you start DJing, it's like, well, when we were scrolling through Discord today, when I was showing you Discord,
Mhm.
all those things that I was scrolling by, those are all just different clubs that I played
Okay,
for
cool.
or do play for. And it's easy to rack them up because you'll play different, like you play 3-4 events a week. That's 3 or 4 different clubs, right? So you're kind of all over the place. Like Cozy Club is, I don't know how, it's just like all of our homies kind of all just always hang out there. Like I'm getting online after to go hang out with these guys
Okay, cool.
after the podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just like like he said, it's like a safe spot for everybody to just kind of go chill and hang out. Like I've DJ'd Cozy Club many times. DJs there all the time.
My
It's
favorite thing about it is it's all this stuff is free. Everyone's perfectly fine with doing this stuff for free.
Yeah, no
And
doubt.
there's a lot of really good DJs in this game. I mean,
Well-
like, I've seen DJs that deserve festival style spots.
Well, what did you just spend on your new set of decks? They were like what?
Oh yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I don't know.
Yep.
I think I dropped around probably yeah, I don't know, maybe 3 grand, 3.5 grand, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like
Crazy.
shit
So
does not. It's not cheap, man.
it's still
Like,
top quality
This is
production.
the most expensive free game that exists.
oh yeah,
It's
people
so
will have
funny.
like a $5,000 PC, $2,000 in body tracking, $3,000 DJ controller, and that's like just to go have fun with your homies and like do this, right?
Crazy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just-
Mhm.
If you want to count in doing stuff like with racing sims and stuff on entirely of like VR gear,
Don't even get me started on that either.
it's 50K
That's a whole different
plus
beast.
easy.
I gotta
Yeah.
start-
When you
I gotta
start
start
throwing in
selling up.
monitors and then base stations and all, it's
I got to start selling
Yeah.
off some hobbies here, I think, so I can put money into other hobbies. They're all getting so goddamn expensive, but
Mhm.
I don't know.
welcome to getting old, man. It's called
Yep.
maturity.
Yeah, your hobbies just get
You get-
more
you get more
expensive. I think I
expensive
can feel you
hobbies.
on that one.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Go ahead, Dan. You looked like you had something to say.
No, I don't.
He just looked over here like he's like, "What the fuck? Wait, what?" But no. What kind of got you into scene, CJ? How'd you get into? If you said you'd been DJing for what you've been doing it 9-10 years now, so what got you into
like
VR DJing?
how did I get into the VR scene of DJing or just DJing in general?
No, just like DJing in VR, because like
Yeah.
that's a weird leap after 10 years.
It is a weird leap, and I did take like a good 2 year hiatus on it. Mainly because I was just focusing on doing like guitars and making music with like Ableton and shit like that.
Nice.
I can't remember who it was. Someone invited me to a map called Tube, which is like the Walmart of DJ raves on VRChat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's but
Oh,
I found
wow.
out
Just-
people were doing like live DJ stuff, and I was like, I might want to get back into it, and then like blew the dust off of my old decks and probably spanned for like a month and a half just to get refigured out, like back in the swing of everything. And then I
Mhm.
had like 2, 3, maybe 4 slots where I was just playing to an empty world and just hoping anyone would show up.
oh yeah. Done that one.
Yeah, and then my friend Nixie came along, and she just kind of like put my foot in the door, and then it was like the end of like open decks at this huge, massive collab. It was like
Nice.
80 people in it, and that's how I got like my debut.
What was the
I
first
lucked
club?
out.
What was the first club you
Huh.
played for?
It was Hypothetical and DGen. It
Nice.
was a collab of
It's
that.
a big night.
That's a
Yeah,
good, that's
yeah, I
a big,
know.
that's a big
I
night
didn't
for your
understand
first
it.
night. No
Yeah, I
doubt.
didn't understand how big it was, when I was there and everything. But once now that I've been around the scene, I was like, man, I opened the right door, man. I didn't
Well,
open
yeah,
the door
like-
to some hole in the
Well,
wall bar.
Like we already said it earlier, but we did that little pop up Friday, me and Skippy and Mav, and we had like 900 people through there.
Well, that's what I mean. It
Yeah.
seems to be a way to have more people exposed to your music in a much like an exponential fashion, right?
Oh, big time! Like,
Mhm.
you just
Yeah,
missed
for
us
sure.
talking about this, CJ. Like, how many shows have I played in VR since I started? Maybe 400 or 500. Like, how
Yeah,
long would it take you
it's
to play
gotta be
400 or
something like
500
that.
real life shows and get that experience in front of people, like a crowd of people, not like 1 or 2 people in your living room or your mom and dad's barbecue? Like,
Well, the thing is about that as well is that would take you years, I would say, especially if you were only doing it on the weekends. And the nice thing about on here is you can just pop in at like 9 p.m. on a Thursday.
right?
And you got people from like Japan, Alaska, Mexico, Puerto Rico, the entire UK scene that's seeing you. Like,
Oh,
if
it's
you
huge.
do a bunch of bars in the same area that's like really not traveling very much, your music really isn't reaching like the demographic it probably should. Like,
It's a very good
You know,
point.
yeah.
So there's
you get
even a huge Japanese scene on here that you can get exposure to. Like,
Oh, right.
it's insane. People who would never find you otherwise can experience your music on here. Hell, I even get traction for my band that way. Like,
Same.
like I'll talk about it and have a link underneath. And
Same.
I think most of the monthly listeners on our Spotify now are people that I've met on VRChat who checked it out.
Well, funny enough too, even with the podcast, like we were looking at analytics last week, and just the map, like the world map of where our listeners are. Like I can tell you for sure that like there was like Beeps was on there, and there was like a couple other people, and then a couple of my homies from down in Brazil, they were on there, and then like random people in like Belgium. Who do we know from Belgium? Do we know anybody from Belgium?
I probably do. Not that I could tell
I
you
mean, yes,
offhand.
probably, but I couldn't tell
Yeah,
you.
no doubt. Yeah, we know someone from everywhere at this point. But
Well, it's pretty cool. Like even for us as a podcast, you would never reach these people. You could never be able to connect and get your content or your media, or your DJ sets out there. So it's
Yeah.
like a very, very interesting side of technology and how people are able to connect and get their content out to a broader audience.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff.
Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. These guys have been here along with me for pretty much most of it. I think me and CJ kind of started DJing in VR at the same time, and Cozy Club was kind of just opening up at that point. And I don't know how we
Mhm.
all linked up, but yeah, these are kind of like my ride or die homies. We chill pretty much every night, one way or another,
Yep.
or talk to each other on Discord, and you can make some pretty good friends, man. Like it's like your second family. You know what I mean? It's
Well, 100%. It's like we've just been we just met, and again, thank you for taking your time to do this with us today. And it feels like we're just chatting in the same living room like any other guest. Like
yeah, it's wild.
it's pretty
man.
seamless, and the technology is really where it needs to be to grow, which is pretty cool.
Oh hell yeah! It's
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
it's
One
gonna
other
pop
cool
off.
thing about VR, there's a saying, and it's pretty true, is that time moves 10 times faster here
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
realm than it does IRL. So
Oh, for
like
sure.
you can progress and get notoriety and I guess like a fan base a lot faster than like if you just uploaded something to like SoundCloud or something and was like watching the views or likes or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
Because like you actually get to see the people like physically like watching crowds build in front of the stage. It's kind of a
Oh, it's awesome, dude.
emotional
It's
thing.
that's
It's kind of really emotional. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, like it's a rush, man. It's like you'll see people just filling up because they know that you're playing, and they see people that you know there. Like I can join up and see a couple of the people that are in the lobby and know instantly either who's playing or have some sort of idea who's playing or who's there. It's like
Mhm.
it gets to be like a friend group where you just like, oh, like if Zombie's there, I can probably guarantee that like Skippy, Mav, and CJ are probably not too far away. Or
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Well, I got to
Yeah,
tip my
checks
hat
out.
to you guys. I feel like you've built a really awesome community with the Cozy Club, and you're doing great things with music and helping
man.
people expose. Like at the end of the day, it's all about the art, right? And it seems like everyone that's involved with VR is doing it out of the love of their heart for the medium, whether it be building the worlds or building or having a space like the Cozy Club to have people come and DJ.
Right.
I think that's really awesome, and it's yeah, I got to tip my hat to everyone involved. Pretty crazy stuff. You've really blown my mind here today, for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we usually do, guys, here at the end of our podcast, we bring up some like stupid posts from our local Facebook group.
All right.
And
Let's see.
we kind of just chirp them apart a little bit. So I'll share the screen here for you guys on your end so that you can see. Give me 1 second here as we get this going.
I was going to ask that. That's what I wanted to ask
Yeah.
you earlier, is if they could comment on the post with us today, or we
Oh,
had
yeah.
to cut.
Oh,
I'm
they'll
glad
be
that
able
we
to see
could,
here. We'll
Oh,
stream.
I would be honored.
We'll stream our screen there. I think we should be streaming. Maybe.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to
I
cut
love the
to some
future.
Overheard and
Dang, I
Banff
love the future.
posts. For those that don't know, Overheard and Banff is a Facebook page here in the town of Banff where we kind of come together as a community to share stuff that we find funny, bad parking.
Maverick says a real mind bender would be to try it yourself. So it looks like Dan's got a challenge to try some VRChat.
I think maybe
Oh, you got to get on here at
we
some
definitely
point.
should. You've piqued my curiosity. I'm going to have to give it a
come
rip.
over some night and I'll have some beers and you could smoke some weed and we'll just like take turns swapping the headset out and like
I'm down.
I'll show you
I'm
I'll show
down.
you the club scene. Yeah, after that you'll want to go buy one. I'll sell you that one when I get my
Oh,
Quest 3.
100%.
Yeah, I'll sell you that one when I get my Quest 3.
Right on. Challenge accepted. I will be giving it a rip for sure, and I will be touching base back with all our listeners when we do. Super pumped to try it. It seems insane, honestly.
How's the podcast been today?
Oh, it's been pretty good, man. We kind of just shot the shit about the old Cozy Club and just how we all kind of got into DJing and I think some random topics in between, and yeah,
Yeah, we tend to branch off a little bit, but yeah, first time ever having VR guests on our podcast. So thanks again for making this work.
Aztec says if you really want to send it home, show them one of those particle animation worlds. They are actually insane.
Oh, God, yeah.
Those are so sick. But if you're prone to motion sickness, I would be careful with
Yeah,
it.
maybe not the first time in VR. You drop them off the
you got to
face
get your
of the
sea legs
planet.
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drop them off the face of the planet.
Sounds like I'd be
God.
more prone to taking a dose before then.
Oh, well, we do have
I
some
mean,
pictures. We got a couple pictures that I snagged of everybody from VR here. Maybe we'll cut to those and we'll just pop through a couple of those. Quick.
Yeah, let's pull them up so people can get idea of what it looks like inside the VR clubs.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was the first night I got.
There is the video that I was looking
my
for
PC
earlier
hooked
that
up
didn't want to play.
Oh, hey!
Set up.
There it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go check out some clubs,
Oh,
or like go
alright,
check
wow.
out some worlds, I guess. I
We'll listen
remember
to
I
that for
popped
a second.
into, I heard about like Club
Sorry,
Orion.
it's off
Just
kilter there.
first
I
thing that
don't
really
even know where it
fucking
went. I
got me
added it
was
back in
the
earlier,
lights.
and
Like,
it
I
just
just nerded
disappeared on me,
out so bad.
So we're
on
showing
the
shots
lights
from
and just the
inside of
vibe.
a VR
As a
club, and it
musician,
looks
the
like
more
a
I got
regular
into
nightclub.
music,
You
the
got
vibe,
Matt's
and
avatar
the
on
aspect
the
of,
decks right now,
you know,
DJing
being
it
able
up.
to perform in front of these people.
Yeah, and
that
so
aren't
all these
necessarily
dancers that you're seeing,
real.
they all like us have full body tracking, and they have legit poles in their room. Like they, just like me and Omen, or I'm gonna call him Omen because that's how I know him.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just like we're using legit controllers and have pretty much an entire setup, the room's pretty much set up for it. It's the same for them for dancing. Like,
yeah, they have actual stripper poles in their room, and they will dance around, and it's actually pretty crazy, man. The stuff you can do in here.
So is that like another sub community in the club? Is like the dancers?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Club events are,
like that's
yeah, they're huge. Those are generally 18 plus. You've got to like verify your ID as well and all that stuff. Yeah, they take that pretty serious. Like I've been to events and literally had to send like a picture of my passport with like everything blurred out other than like your birth date and your picture. It's
okay, wild.
Yep.
So security definitely still a top priority.
Oh yeah, big time. But let's run through a couple of these pictures here.
Well, we want to be
we got Zombie here.
responsible.
This was the night where everybody went small and was just chilling on the desk for some reason. So we got CJ here.
Rave.
You can see Mav and our Pikachu here. She is actually from Saskatoon, I think.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, we got Zombie up here just spinning the decks and dude,
you guys are all just hanging out.
Terrorism, dude. Rude Dan found his calling, VR stripper.
Oh,
that gotta be Jerry, eh?
That's gotta be Jerryism's gotta be Jerry
I
from
know,
the
that.
local band Regal Foul.
yeah,
Big
let's
shout
go.
out to you,
Big
Jerry.
shout out, Jerry.
I might try something else before the pole dancing in VR, but I'm not ruling it out. You know, these hips don't lie, bro.
These hips don't lie,
Well,
bro.
just to point it out, there is also a really big musician scene on here as well, not just DJing.
Yeah.
There's tons of people who play their instruments on here. Omen's played a couple of guitar sets even.
Yeah, I've played a couple of live sets, so that's, I don't know. I guess that's probably easier for me because I've been playing guitar for like 25, 26 years, and playing
being able to
blindfolded
see.
isn't really that bad, but it was fun, man. Like, just as we're kind of running through pictures here, yeah, like some of these events, man, they get pretty nuts. Like, this is my new fancy avatar, the old lighty one. Everything
I like
lights
it.
up. But yeah, man, like as you'll see with some of these pictures, like some of them are just like the lighting in some of these worlds is just unreal. Like this is Club Orion, super recognizable. Oh, and Stereo. Look, there's Stereo. He's our buddy who's actually
good old stereo.
that little video clip that popped up there. That was actually shot by him. He's working on a documentary.
Very cool.
About basically what we talked about today, the club scene and VRChat and DJing and what it takes to run a club and all that jazz. Super solid guy, good filmmaker. Stoked to see what he's come up with. Oh, this was a good event too. I can't remember where the hell this was.
And we will keep you posted as that documentary comes out, because I mean, it's just scratching the surface on the VR world
for
here.
sure,
It seems
for sure.
There's plenty more to dive into
For sure. All right. Well, that's kind of the little VR run through picks there. I say we get to some posts.
Let's get to it.
The first one's going to get us going anyways. I know you guys will be pissed off about something about this.
All right. So the first post for those that are listening in reads, "Dear Banff, me and my roommate are arguing about the worst bartender ever. Many back and forths about worst and bad. So I ask you, what is the worst quality / trait of a bad / the worst bartender you've ever seen?
Oh my god. I don't know, boys. What do you got for like worst bartender? Like, what was your worst bartender experience?
So I used to work in the cooking industry as well. So I've got to work with a lot of bartenders.
Yeah.
And the one that irked me the most was like they would get not a crazy cocktail by means. It's like, hey, can I get a lemon drop? And they would literally be like, yeah. It's like, just don't hit the customer with the heavy side. Come on. Like, what is that about?
Oh, you just want you to make me a 3-ingredient drink, man. I'm sorry that fucked your day up.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. That's
especially if
like
you're in a
what you signed
cocktail
up
bar.
to do.
I mean, I had some. I don't know if I've had any like really bad. No, I don't. I mean, I've had some shitty drinks. Like, I've definitely had shitty drinks poured for me, like where I ordered a whiskey sour and it was just whiskey and bar lime, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's like
supposed to be.
That's like the nightclub whiskey sour. That's a very common one.
Yeah, but this was at like a bar.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Bad qualities to a bartender is always going to
Yeah,
be
the 3/4
inattentiveness. Being on the phone, like that's the worst. You go to a bar, bartender's sitting on his phone, like more attentive to the phone than
My
the guest.
That's
My
bad anywhere. If I go if I
Yeah.
go on a date with someone and they're on their phone more than 15% of the time, I will get up and walk away.
Man, for me, I don't know. I think it's like bartenders that like are just dicks, or like
think they're too cool.
the thing that really used to piss me off is when you're standing at the bar with money in your hand and there's like like you're standing there and there's like 15 people show up after you, but they're all hot chicks, and the guy's just like, yeah, what do you guys want? I'm like, motherfucker, I've been here for 10 minutes longer than these girls. Get me a Bud Light and let me sit down. It's like, oh, it's insane, dude. It was like, it would happen all the time. Just be standing there. And
I would say, especially my drinking days, the worst one for me, the worst trait you could ever have as a bartender is when I order a Jaeger, you pull it off the shelf. Not out of the fridge.
Oh,
You guys serve me a warm
I feel
Jaeger.
that.
Calgary, this used to happen all the time. We go,
Why?
we go to the city.
Why?
We're gonna go party. We're gonna go to an event. We're hitting bars on the way to the event. We're like, yeah, man, 12 shots of Jaeger, and they go
Put it in the
off the
fucking
shelf.
fridge.
Get out of here, man. Nobody wants that warm Jaeger.
Oh God, man! Like we're Pump and Tap. They have like the coldest goddamn Jaeger on earth. It's so cold it will like freeze the goddamn fillings out of your teeth.
Okay,
Like,
so you know those Jaeger machines? Right before I quit drinking, I was living with my boy Kyle. Big shout out to Kyle. We had one of those Jaeger machines in our house. So
yeah, we had one. We had one at the frat
Yeah,
house as well. It was awesome.
a very slippery slope. Once the Jaeger machine was introduced, I think I only drank for another like 2 or 3 months because we were hitting it in the morning. We were hitting it like, oh man, we did the dishes. Shot of Jaeger. Like
That's the way to do it. Just like to compliment your chores. You're just like, I did the floors, shot of Jaeger. Then by the time you get done all the chores, you're pretty toasty.
it was a wild time. Big shout out to Kyle. Hope you're doing all good out there in Manitoba, brother.
All right. Well, this next one, we got a classic parking meme. Every fucking week in this tourist town, there's always a parking meme. Check this one out. Yeah, if anyone knows the green car, good luck, I guess. That's fucking like if that guy didn't have that mirror folded back, the mirrors would have not fit.
But the green car is the car that's parked over the line. So I don't know who's to blame here.
I don't know. I think the green guy probably pulled in afterwards.
I don't know. Anyways, another classic parking post from the town of Banff. This looks like in the parkade, probably near the Nesters. Anarchy in there. They've changed the rules as well. So if you're out looking for parking space, I know my partner Nat tries to park up there all the time. I think only the first floor used to be paid, or first and second. Now they've moved it up, so there's less.
I think the
free
top floor is
parking.
free.
Now I think only the top floor and the second top floor are free. The rest are all paid now. So big warning to everyone.
Yeah,
there
if you got
in
to
the town
walk
of
a
Banff.
long time, it's free, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Banff. There's not really. You only walk like 15 minutes across town. Like,
But like now that they have less parking there, we're cruising by the river today, and it's Tuesday. I want to say
That's
about noon, and
bullshit,
all the
bro.
parking by the
Fuck,
river.
what is
full.
that?
oh fuck.
So,
The handheld massager.
Oh yeah, you guys are seeing the previews. You guys are seeing the preview screen. Okay, here we go. We're transitioning over. This is our classic. Should not be for sale on buy and sell.
So I was sent this again this week from my boy Aaron Pactos. I don't know what type of buy and sell groups this guy's on, but please keep sending them. This one is titled "Handheld Massager, $25 sold." It is clearly
Someone bought it.
Yeah. It
Wait,
is
someone bought that? No.
Sold. Oh fuck! I didn't see that originally. That's awesome.
So I did crop out. It said never used, but if you look at the top, like the picture where it's cropped out, if you opened it up, you can see that the box has clearly been tampered with. So like that thing was not new. If you're out there buying,
someone was
handheld
ready to get into that
massagers,
one.
Oh, that's fucking.
Someone
brutal.
was real ready to get into that one.
Oh yeah,
Comes with free
Beach
smells.
just says, "Oh boy."
I don't know. I think that's a item you're going to want to buy used, or not. You're not going to want to buy
Not
used.
gonna
for
buy
sure.
it. I mean, yeah, did you want? I don't even want.
If you do buy it, you better be a wizard at repurposing items for their not intended use.
Last week it was because if you guys didn't see, last week there was a women's judo jock strap.
Yeah, and week before that was a used bike saddle.
Yeah. So a common thing.
Minimal
What the hell are people selling in your town? This is
And it's awesome, dude. That's what it is.
I want that bike saddle.
Can we smell it? Can I smell it before I buy it?
I'd be more worried about how many people are interested in riding their bikes without seats.
Oh god. Everybody in the chat is just loving this right now. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Oh god. Well, the next one not so funny. It's a little more. This one's a little more serious, but
A little more serious stuff from the town of Banff here. A little reminder that it's actually going on right now. The Wildfire Forum is Tuesday, May the 7th, today from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Fenlands. There's demonstrations, info booths on how you can stay safe in a wildfire event. A little bit of good news on that front. It's been rainier, still snowing, little hints of winter still in the town of Banff. So even though we are still in drought conditions, we are still getting some snow and some precipitation.
Right.
So good news on that. But if you do want some information, the speaker series should be started 15 minutes ago at 6 o'clock. So you can probably still make it there.
yeah, hell yeah. Well, that leads to our next slide as well. They're doing the wildfire hazards cleanup weekend. So if you want to do your part, they're going to have waste drop-off locations, free disposal, basically just kind of cleaning up branches,
That's super
stems,
cool.
yard debris, all that stuff, like your scrap brush out in the backyard that could burn your goddamn house down if there's a forest fire.
Absolutely. So if you're
yeah.
raking your lawns, you have extra burnable natural materials kicking around your property, they will be doing a disposal the weekend of May 18th and 19th. Pickups in Middle Springs, in Valley View, Beaver Street, and Marmot Crescent.
Let's go. Let's go.
Marmot Crescent. That's
Marmot.
a baller name.
Marmot, yeah, bro. That's a weird little animal. I let one in the restaurant once when Newt was working at Sunshine. It's like, can't leave the door open. There's a marmot in here. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's honestly a very common thing. I was working at the Elkin Oarsman. We had a bird fly in. And it's
always
like,
birds in the
you
restaurant.
can't just kill it because you're in a national park. All these animals are protected. Same at my buddy.
You go to goddamn jail for a year.
One of my good friends was a chef up at the Juniper. And same thing. It was a muskrat that got into the restaurant. It was coming in. It was eating food. It was really causing they were having a rough time with it. And because, again, it's a protected animal, it's a protected space. One of the housemen or something was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go put some poison out," and they're like, "Do not do that! Like,
do not do that. No one wants to go to jail today at work."
So, a pretty common problem in the town of Banff.
Oh god, that's awesome.
But that does raise like a good talking point. At least, like, how would you solve that solution? What would be the solution to that? Because
you gotta just catch them.
Still like having
get someone to catch the
it's
animal.
still a biohazard.
You could call wildlife, and they'll come take care of it. Like they'll come trap it and take it outside.
Yeah, that's what we did. We called our friends over at Parks Canada, which will also be coming by May 28th for an episode. Big shout out to Parks Canada.
Nice.
Yeah, we called them and they came and trapped it and released it.
Yeah, big time. Speaking of weird creatures, next slide fits right in with. I have no idea what the fuck this.
What?
This one is wild. So the post reads, this one's from Bow Valley Network. Big shout out to Bow Valley Network. Last night around 11:30 p.m., I found this out walking my dog. Any idea what it is? And if you look at the pictures, it is some wicked looking
It
beetle.
kind of looks like a cicada.
It's definitely not
Right?
a cicada. I looked at the comments. It's some type of water bug.
Oh.
Apparently, they're not very harmless to humans. They just look
Oh
super
yeah,
gnarly.
dude. We in the South we call those a giant toe biter. They are a legitimate a giant water bug, and they do eat fish. They are a predatorial style bug, and they are probably 3 times the size of your thumb, and
Yes.
they will
Damn.
draw
Insane.
blood.
Thank you for that.
Oh,
But,
They
damn.
suck. They suck.
like all the comments were going off calling them toe biters. I couldn't remember what they were
Oh,
going
yeah.
off. So thank you for that
Nice
info.
one, CJ.
Giant
Yeah,
water
um,
bug.
I've never seen one of these. Honestly, I never fucking see bugs out here in the mountains.
Yeah, so like the back two legs on it aren't even legs. They're just like little swimmer paddles, and it only has like 2 main legs that it can walk with. So they're not agile on ground or whatever, but
They
it's
like scuttle.
yeah, they scuttle,
Crazy.
but just to add insult to injury, they can fly. So yeah.
Oh,
Ew.
get
God.
the
Ew.
fuck outta here.
Yeah.
This thing, I'm gonna have fucking nightmares about this
I
tonight.
think one of the comments said they're cool when they're on the ground. They're not cool when they're flying at your face.
Yeah, that's
no.
palmetto bugs and
100%.
everything down here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all live down there in the south where it's crazy shit.
Yeah,
man.
not something we're used to seeing here in the town of Banff. Like one thing that's very rare is like spiders in your house.
I've seen one in
Mhm.
9 years.
Like,
No,
yeah.
10 years I've been here. Now I've seen one spider
That's
in my
awesome.
whole the whole 10
I'm
years I've
moving
been
up
here.
like
Like myself being
Next
from
week.
Ontario originally.
Oh yeah, being from
like,
Ontario, dude, it's like they're
earwigs,
fucking everywhere. Oh, yeah, I forgot
spiders,
about earwigs.
Kind of
They're
all up
fucking
in your
gross.
house all the time. And here, like in Banff, we're very lucky. Maybe it's the altitude or the fact that it's cold here for like 10 months of the year.
Yeah.
You don't usually see these crazy bugs.
No, it's fine.
I saw some really weird moths.
Matt
on
says
my way
they
here,
always
actually.
fly towards you.
Crazy.
Oh god, that's great.
they don't fear you.
No, I don't take it that they would. They look fucked. Like it looks like something out of goddamn Predator.
Oh, pass.
Well, we got one more slide for y'all this week, guys. And this one, Dan didn't catch it at first. I thought it was fucking hilarious. He didn't catch it, but here we go. So it reads, is there anywhere in town that sells clear umbrellas? I like to walk in the rain and look at the sky whenever there's lightning.
So we've been having lots of rain here in the Bow Valley, especially Banff, over the past week.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
said
raining
earlier,
like nonstop, yeah.
raining in town, snowing in the mountains. So believe it or not, there's still some skiing going on here for the next month.
Hells yeah.
Lake
Oh, wow.
Louise is now closed, but sunshine. Like I was up there. Jimmy was talking to me about going up to this morning.
Oh, how's your shins? I heard you guys had a little wipeout. You kind of ran into Jimmy and you had a little bit of a tumble and kind of clocked both everybody's shins off everybody's board there.
Dude, my shins are fucked. Like they're so basically it was a pow day. We're ripping it up. I was doing a heel side turn. I cut him off big time. Like I was hitting a line on the left, and then I looked to the right, and I was like, "Oh, that looks awesome over there." But I didn't look behind me where Jimmy was, and I totally cut right in front of him. So I was like toe side turning, and he hit me kind of from the back. Somehow we ended up like both shinning each other with our boards. So our
His is pretty.
our snowboard edge, like I got probably 3 inches of scabbed shin from getting his board. And as soon as it hit and I stood up, I'm like, I know I'm bleeding. Like, but I didn't want to check. I figured I was wearing tight enough base layers that if I was bleeding, it would just kind of take care of itself. And I was right. I got home, I took my stuff off. And, it was horrible. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, that's-
god.
Yeah, I was getting ice the other day, and Jimmy's just like, "Oh, bud, look at my shins. Your boy Danny ran right into me." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh yeah, bud, he took us both out right into us." It's like, "Oh my god, he just died on it." But
Craziness. Yeah. I forgot to mention that and how the week's been doing. But
bad for your shins.
we were saying it, we were surprised because me and my buddy Jimmy, we ride together quite a bit, quite frequently. It's the first time we've ever like hit each other in like almost 3 years of snowboarding. So long overdue.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Jimmy.
Oh my god,
Overdue.
Jimmy is a legend. That's great. Well, I think that's it for this week, Dan. We got who's our next guest next week?
Next guest next week, we have Tim Eckmeyer, Luke Dice, and Braden Kelly. They are joining us from the Bad Altitude Improv Group. They've been doing shows here in the town of Banff for years. They also did a Overheard in Banff show. It's something that they've been running for a couple of years now. I haven't heard about it this year, but maybe we'll get into that with them
The
next
improv
week.
show, yeah, they're great.
So moving back a little bit more into the art, more into some stuff. I know they have a huge crew, so we're gonna have 3 of them in here with us live in the studio. But yeah, looking forward to touch on that next week. I want to thank our guests this week for joining us.
Oh hell yeah! We got Zombiepunk and DJSeaJay,
Let's go.
2 of
Let's
the
go.
baddest
Always a
mobs
pleasure.
in
Yeah.
all of VRChat. I'm just kidding, but they're
Blow
actually good.
Joining us from
Thank you,
another
man.
world.
Yeah, thanks so much for swinging in, guys, especially on short notice.
For sure.
We found out yesterday our guest wasn't going to be able to make it, so thank you so much, Zombie, for stepping in. CJ, thanks for making a special cameo appearance as well, homie.
I think a better
Oh, yeah,
episode
no
in the
worries,
end,
no
honestly,
worries.
because yeah, this has been a very eye-opening experience. I can't wait to throw the headset on and come hang out with you guys on the other side.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Oh,
next
dude, we're
week.
gonna make a night out of it. It's gonna
Next
be
week?
great.
We'll do that next week or something after the podcast. Oh no, we can't because I gotta go play with Weedus next week. But
yeah, big show with Weedus.
Oh yeah,
next
okay.
week.
Yeah,
nice
I'm
name drop.
I'm playing that.
Right?
I'm playing that Weedus show
I'm
next
stoked
week. I had to
to
name
go.
drop it.
Just slide that in there.
But all right, well, thank you so much, guys.
Thanks again, guys. Big shout out. Thanks for being with us. And like every week, Matt, we look forward to
See you next Tuesday.
Peace.
Deuces.
Hey, boys, thanks so much, dude. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That was sick, honestly.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Lots of
Dude,
fun.
that was fun as fuck, dude. Thanks for having me on.
We can always do it
I'm
again.
sorry